friends, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you are new here. I am Martina Lily and today we are putting to the test two of the new Pat McGrath Labs holiday quints that she just recently released in her Bijoux Brilliance collection. I picked up Bronze Ecstasy and Bordeaux Bliss, and we are going to do in-depth swatches with both of these little quints and two looks, a look with each one. So hopefully that sounds interesting to you guys. If it does, go ahead and do the YouTubey things, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let's get started. Just quickly, before we get into the swatches and the looks, couple of housekeeping things. There will be timestamps down below in case you only want to see certain parts. Also, all of the products that I used today on my face will be linked in the description box down below. If you shop through them, they are affiliate links, so thank you so much. I really appreciate it. All of that just goes back into supporting this little channel here. I originally did a Pat McGrath Labs shop or drop for her Bijoux Brilliance holiday collection. I will link that up in the eye and in my Pat McGrath Labs playlist, which will be linked in the description box, sorry, for you guys if you want to check that out. And I explained how in the shop or drop I really went through this like full circle movement where instantly when I saw the holiday release I was like, oh my gosh, I'm pretty much going to get it all, and then kind of worked my way back to a point where I was like, I'm actually probably not going to pick anything up. And then we all knew that was ridiculous and I ended up picking up two quints. The quints were definitely what caught my eye because last year's quints, Nude, Allure and Bronze Bliss, I loved these, particularly Bronze Bliss, because this little silver shade right here is just, it's a formula that I've never come across again. It is absolutely incredible and mind-blowing to me and like my makeup preferences. And I mean, equally the other four shades in here and also the shades in the Nude Allure quint, they're so high quality. They are so high quality and they are unlike any of the shades in her other palettes that I was like, oh. And the way that she's described the quints for the Bijoux Brilliance collection this year, it sounded very similar, if not even more elevated than last year's. And I just was, my little makeup goblin couldn't handle not trying the formula of the quints this year. I picked up Bronze Ecstasy and Bordeaux Bliss. You would think I would have picked up the Neptune one. Let me just grab the name, Lunar Nightshade. And I think Neptunian is the shade that Neptunian Orchid is the shade in that palette that I want the most. And you would think that's actually the quint that I've seen the most people want. You would think that that was the quint that I would pick up. And the reason why I didn't actually pick that quint up is because I saw a sneak peek picture of that. Someone was randomly selling it on eBay and someone sent it to me. Granted, the picture's not great, but I could see the colors in more of a daylight color. And then I also saw Pat McGrath Labs do a reel of swatches of this quint. And aside from that Neptunian Awkward shade, I wasn't going to use, or I didn't need, any of the other four shades. Originally, I wasn't going to pick Bronze Ecstasy up because I thought that end shade was quite gold looking. But then when I was watching Pat McGrath Labs reels and stuff, I was like, this does not look straight out gold. It looks more of like a bronze with a slight gold shift, which intrigued me a lot more. And also the mattes looked a lot nicer in her reels and stuff than in the promo pictures. So that got me really intrigued. Same with watching the reels of Bordeaux Bliss, like those shades got me really intrigued. And then you times that with the fact that I really am curious about the formula. And I managed to score a 20% off discount code from one of you guys, which was MissYou20. You can still try it. And so I got the double quint kind of bundle on her website on launch day for 88 Australian dollars, and my shipping was free. So I was like, you know what, $44 per palette for a quint. I'm not mad at that personally. In Australian dollars, that is. They're normally 64 Australian dollars per quint. And then I think the bundle is like 111 for two Australian full price. And then obviously, depending on what country you live in, is going to be your currency from there. That's kind of the little backstory that none of you probably asked for or cared about, but wanted to share around how I picked these palettes up. Because if you did catch my shop or drop it, I was like, I'm not picking any of this up. The formulas in these, I've already swatched these. When we go into the swatches, sorry, you'll see like clips, and I might even put some in here if you're lucky, of these palettes untouched, because untouched, they are a work of art. Like, wow, Pat actually outdid herself. Wow, wow, wow. So these now that have been touched, they don't look as good, trust me. Not that they're not as good, because they still are, the formula's still there, but just when you see the embossing on like a couple of these shades, you're just like, oh wow, that's mesmerizing. The thing that surprised me about Bordeaux Bliss, and you will see it in the swatches, is that I thought all of the shades were metallics, but actually this one right here is not a straight metallic. It's more of a matte with a glitter in it, kind of like, but it's not like those ColourPop ones that you think of. You know how ColourPop goes through this phase where they put glitter in all their mattes? It's not quite like that, but it's, yeah, you'll see it in the swatches. So this one is not a straight metallic, it's more matte with a slight sheen. And then the rest of these, like this one is like your jellified touch one, like your Bronze Bliss, feels beautiful. But even these formulas, none of these formulas feel like any of her existing formulas, in my personal opinion. I'm not an expert, that's just my personal opinion. And then you have Bronze Ecstasy, which again, it looks like these two are mattes, right? But this one right here, which you'll see in the swatches, it's actually more of like a satin. Like it actually has quite a sheen to it. Not a straight metallic, but definitely more of a satin finish, which again, very unique to her formulas. This is that beautiful jellified touch one, and the formulas feel... What we're gonna do now is, you know, I swatched both of the Quints. I did like my full arm swatches and individual hand swatches, and I even got a little fancy and like tried to drop my lights down low and do like the lighting with this, so you can see the sparkle effect in low lighting. So let me know your thoughts on that. And then if I'm extra spicy, I might even include some sunlight swatches. We'll see, but give me your feedback down below if I do with the new swatch kind of format as well as the original. I need to know if you want me to continue doing that. Okay, and then we will go into the looks. So let's get into it. Look one. So I'm going to do Bronze Bliss first. We're going to take the Pat eye primer, naturally. Pat eyeshadow, Pat primer. If I wasn't doing a review, I would actually use another palette with this to lay down like an initial lighter transition shade. I would probably actually just use my Danessa Myrix because it sits here on my desk at all times, and I'd probably just take like one of these top shades as like my initial transition. So you could do that. You could put your bronzer down if it makes you nervous, but for the sake of the review, I will show you guys how you can use this palette just on its own. I'm going to take a Sonia G Blender Pro. This is my first time using this brush actually. I just picked up her Fusion brush set. And I will start by wiggling this in the outer corner, and I'll concentrate it more into the crease at the beginning and then slowly blend it upward just because it is that deeper shade. And so, sorry, another thing, if you are going to use this and you have hooded eyes as well, but really any eye shape, see how this brush is like tapered? like that. I mean, I'm not a makeup artist, so I'm just sharing tips and tricks that I found that work for me. If you just like pick up the color directly on like the tip, just tap it in a little bit, and then you put that into your crease and just wiggle, the parts that are down lower that are tapered, as you wiggle it, they're going to blend that eyeshadow out for you and like diffuse it really nicely. Again, take that with a grain of salt. I'm really not a makeup artist, but just sharing what I found works for me. Like a little squiggle squirrel. See? That's nice. This one is like pretty much the straight matte. It's the other formula that's got more of a sheen to it. I'm just going to take this Lethal Cosmetics 200 brush. It's just a soft blending brush, and I'm not even going to put any color on it, and I'm just going to wiggle this up through now just to diffuse it a little bit. Let's leave that matte there for now. It's not perfect. I would personally still lay down a transition shade like I said, but you know, for review purposes. Now let's dip into a little bit of this one. I'm actually going to take it on my Sonia G Crease Pro, and I'm just going to build this up in the outer corner a little bit. If you have a deep dark skin tone or like medium upwards, this would look so beautiful as a one and done like satin sheen on your lid, like just packing it on and blending it through the crease. It would look so lovely, truly. I mean, you could obviously do it, you know, paler than that, but it'll just look like more, especially if you're deep or deep dark, it'll look, I guess, like your version, like your skin tone of a nude, right? Like how we all have different versions of that, or like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? It'll look stunning. Oh my gosh, imagine that on a deep dark skin tone and then a really deep brown chocolate lip. Oh, that would look incredible. Wow. I really like that shade. That's quite lovely actually. It blended really nice. Probably because it's more of like a satin. This eye always looks a different shape and different entirely because they are different shaped eyes. And it's always a trick to try and get them the same. We're going to use Pat Intensifies because it's Pat and, you know, I do that every day. And this product was designed for her shadows. You actually can't get this on her website at the moment, and I'm praying that it's not because it's being discontinued, but all the Sephora's and stuff still have it, so I don't know. I've started stocking up though, just in case. I'm not gonna lie, I can't live without it. You will see me crying in the corner if she discontinues that. Let's take this Sonia G Builder Pro right here, and I'm gonna start with this shade, and I'll pop that toward the outer corner. And I'm just going to press because I want to get, because it has like a really dark brown base, I just want to press the pigment in so that I'm not swiping, because if I swipe, I might swipe away some of the metallic and then I'm just left with more of the brown base, whereas I want the glitter and the shimmer to really shine through. Just like so. That's pretty. If you like a really dark smoky eye with just a hint of like a gold and chocolatey bronze, you will love that shade, absolutely. I also think if you have mature eyelids, this shade won't look too bad as well. You could obviously also put that all over your lid, but we are not going to. I've just wiped that color off on my Sigma switch, and now I'm going to go into this color, which is like that jellified touch formula. It's gorgeous. It feels like a wet cream. It really does. And I'll see how it goes in the brush, but it might actually just work better on your finger. I just don't like using my fingers. Personal preference. So I'm just going to... Let me just try it on my finger. I do think it might work a bit better. Yeah, there you go. Just because it's that kind of cream formula, it likes to warm up on your fingers, I think. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh wow, that is molten. This all over the lid would just look stunning. I'm just kind of gonna swoop it up a little bit in here. Wow, that shade is gorgeous. That shade is beautiful. I'm just taking the Sonia G Crease Pro and I'm just gonna tap into this and just lightly marry. And I really have gotten like no fallout, which is amazing in my mind. And I can already tell you just from, well, this Quint, I can't tell you from anything else because I haven't tried it, but this is the Pat McGrath Labs that I know and love. These formulas are impeccable. This is the Pat I love. Like, look at this. Look at this. Seriously. Oh, okay. Let's do the speed through of my base makeup and then we'll come back and finish the eyes and the face and all that kind of stuff. My base makeup is done up until bronzer and I just do my brows off camera. I also just quickly put some of the Victoria Beckham black eyeliner in my top waterline and the LH Cosmetics Greige Core Crayon in my lower waterline, just to save some time. I'm just going to take this What's Up R107 and go into this matte right here. I'm loving how this eye look has come out, I'm not going to lie, but I don't want a massive smoky under eye, so I'm just going to lightly keep that kind of as close to the lash line as I can here. I am really liking this look. Like really, really liking this look. And even this shade here, even though I wouldn't just put that all over the lid, like that's outside my comfort zone, as like an outer corner deepening metallic shade to like fade into this one, it is stunning. Like, wow, I'm so impressed. And I'm not just saying this, you guys. You've heard me like bag the Mothership 11 this whole time. So like, you know, if I don't like something, especially with that, I'll tell ya, okay? I'll tell ya. Let's take this R109 and we're gonna go into this gorgeous shade right here, which is kind of like a peachy metallic, if you will, peachy pink, for lack of a better word. And let's put this, it's actually a lovely shade to accompany this. I've got to tell you, the curation of colors and shades in these Quints has been done to perfection in my mind. It really has. They all complement each other so well. Look at that freaking inner corner shade. This is the Pat McGrath Labs that makes me excited. This is what we want to see, Pat. We want to see these innovative formulas, these gorgeous formulas. This is what we want to see. Oh, I love that. I'm impressed. This, I am so glad I picked up. I really am. It's stunning. I don't know what you guys think, but that to me looks gorgeous. I'm just going to put some of this Rabanne mascara on. I'm still testing it. There will be a review coming. let's finish off this face. For liquid highlight, I'm going to use this Metal Shot from Rabanne, and this is the first time I'm using it. And again, I'm just testing these products for my review, and it looks crazy, but it does blend out to be really quite nice. So I'm going to take it on my sponge, and this can be used really as like a highlight. It can be mixed with anything. Like it's quite a versatile product. Oh wow, that looks really nice. That looks lovely. Ooh, okay. I mean, I'm not going to give you any thoughts because that's my first time using it, and well, my initial thoughts is I'm impressed, but TBA. For cream blush, let's take Sunkissed Seduction from Pat, and I just like put it on the back of my hand and take my BK A507 and like work it in. And honestly, these blushes, they've really become top notch in my collection. They really, really have. I say it every time I use them. I really like them. They make me angry how much I like them. The perfect accompaniment to set that is Paradise Glow from Pat. Setting spray is the Milk Hydro Grip setting spray. For a lip, because the eyes are so bold, when that's the case for me personally, my preference is to actually make my lips quite subtle. So I'm going to take this Chanel liner in 158. And then this Chanel lipstick, it's the Rouge Coco Flash in 174. Let me go figure out hair and jewelry and all that jazz, and we will zoom out and see the finished look for Bronze Ecstasy. Finished look with Bronze Ecstasy. What do you guys think? I feel so me. I really do. I feel so comfortable in this look. I love how this has turned out. These metallics are like just this wet, molten deliciousness, truly. I knew when I was swatching them that I was gonna love them because they feel like the special formulas in last year's Quints, but on the eyes they're a whole other level. Like I just really am feeling myself in this look. I really am. Like I'm so happy I picked this Quint up. It's stunning, truly. So this is Bronze Ecstasy. Now let's use Bordeaux Bliss. We are back to create a look with Bordeaux Bliss. Now I am going to dip into my Velvet Liaison palette with this one because to be honest with you, I mean, I picked this up assuming this was an all metallic palette, and I wouldn't use this as an all metallic palette, so that's how it's going to be. If you choose to do that, good for you, but that's not how I would. So I'm going to dip into my Velvet Liaison and mainly like this shade pretty much. So again, you could use something like your bronzer or if you have a transition shade that you like in your collection, or nothing, you could just skip this step altogether. So I have also primed with my Rephr primer, by the way. I was very sad. I'm filming this on the same day and I was very sad to watch that Bronze Ecstasy look off. I should have filmed that second. But you know, maybe this will turn out equally as beautiful. Okay, let's pick this one up. This is a Rephr 16. I'm just gonna do kind of like the same-ish look just so that I can use as many colors as possible. I've got that through the crease, and now I'm going to take the Sonia G Builder Pro and I'm going to go into this one because this one was more, it's like a matte with a speck of like gold flakes through it. It's like a satiny matte with gold flakes through it. So we're going to use this as like my deepening. You could obviously just use this as well. You don't have to use the first shade that I used. It's actually very pretty. The gold flecks so far are just very, 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 very subtle once it's blended out. Also, if my blending's not as good on this look, it's not because the shadows, it's just me. I've got sensitive eyes, so when I do a second look, it just never turns out as good. I actually liked that shade. That was really easy to use and quite lovely, and like it honestly there's hardly any gold flecks. So very pretty. Taking Pat Intensifiers again. Let's apply this. You obviously don't have to use this. You could use nothing, glitter glue, wet your brush, all that jazz. Actually, I'm excited for this palette as well because I wasn't expecting this to be such a cool tony purple leaning type palette, and that it kind of excites me that that's how it's turned out because I love that kind of a color. I'm going to start with a Delium Tools 773 and we'll go into this one right here, and we'll use this how we used the other one in Bronze Ecstasy. I'm just going to start small, and I'm only going to press because otherwise this really will just turn into like pretty much a black shadow. I think you will like this shadow if you are someone that, like, for example, if you were thinking of picking up Lunar Nightshade because you love the black shimmer shade in there, or if you love the black shimmer shade in Subversive from Pat, for example, I think you would really love this shade because it has just this gorgeous like maroony burgundy undertone and fleck to it, but it's still quite a dark smoky shadow. A little bit outside my comfort zone, but ironically that is the shade that really drew me into this palette. So there you go, you just never know what's gonna float me boat. Going back into that Sonia G builder, let's now go into this one. And these ones are a little bit more of a flaky formula, not flaky, but like glittery formula, if you will, than the Bronze Ecstasy. So just maybe keep that in mind if you don't like that. But it'll be fine if you use a tacky base. So I'm just gonna pop that in the center here and like marry it into that deeper shade there. That's pretty. If you like that ruddy kind of burgundy shade, you'll like that. I've just wiped the excess shadow off my Sigma switch, and now I'm going to go into this gorgeous like smoky purple shade in the middle. Actually, let's take this on my finger because this is one of those like jellified touch kind of formulas. Oh yeah, and that's where you really get that molten goodness from. Look at that. Oh gosh, that is stunning. That all over my lids. I cannot wait to do. Oh my goodness, that is beautiful. Wow. Oh, I love that, you guys. That is gorgeous. That is so pretty, that shade. So pretty. So I know, like, say for example, this cool tone shade, I understand that there's like similar shades like this in Divine Rose 1, for example, and Divine Rose 2, but not this formula. This is a crazy, intense, wet, metallic formula. But I mean, hey, maybe you don't care about formula, maybe you only care about shade. I'm just going back into this one with that Sonia G brush, and we'll just tap on this outer corner here. We're gonna leave the eyes here. I got a little bit more fallout on this look than the other look, but I expected that, to be honest, because like I said, this one was definitely a little bit more glittery than Bronze Ecstasy. So, okay. Speed through a base makeup and then we'll come back and finish everything up. So base, brows, all that is done. I put the House Labs Mint eyeliner, or Sage I think it's called, in my lower waterline, and the Victoria Back in Purple, I think it's called Fig, in my top waterline. Now I'm going to take the What's Up R107 and I'm going to take this shadow right here. I'm just going to hug that close to the lash line here. I think this has really come out quite nice. I really do. In a corner, this is a Rephr 12. Let's go into this gorgeous pink. Oh yeah, that's stunning. That all over the lid will look beautiful. Oh yeah, that's very pretty. Oh, I like that. Let me get mascara on, which is just going to be my Rabanne one again. I'm going to put this Metal Shot liquid stuff on again for my liquid highlighter. One of my favorite Pat McGrath Labs blushes is Forbidden Fleur. It's just such a unique color. I own nothing like it. I really love it. So we're going to take Forbidden Fleur. I think this will go really nicely with the eye color. Oh, made for each other. Just to set that a touch, I'm going to take this Chanel blush in 798. This is the new fall collection. I think it will go perfectly. Just a little. Yeah, love that. Setting spray is Milk. Lips, I think, has to be the Natasha Denona My Dream Lip Trio. I only tap my lipstick on like that, by the way, because this is just actually so broken and gross. It's like nearly done and I'm just holding on for dear life because I need to buy a new one. And then this is the gloss. Oh, perfect. All right, let me zoom out and show you the finished look, so 2 seconds. This is the finished makeup look. What do you guys think? I think this turned out honestly just as stunning as Bronze Ecstasy, at least if you ask me. Yeah, I feel like my reactions have said it all. I am really, genuinely, truly happy to have picked these up. If I had paid full price for these, I mean, I'm glad I didn't, but I wouldn't be upset. Like, I really, this is the Pat McGrath Labs that I know and love. This is the Pat McGrath Labs that I just want to see, like, moving forward. These color stories are impeccable. Like, they're just so... They're another level of color story for Pat. I really do. Like, I don't know how to explain it unless you kind of have it, but like, even just the way that like this shade is built, like, sorry, this shade, the shades build on each other is what I'm trying to spit out. Like, there's vibes of these two in this one, and then this is like a lighter version of this one. I don't know, they just work really well together, but the formulas are impeccable. They're just this wet metallic goodness. Like, they really are. I can see people not liking this shade and potentially this shade just because they're a little bit denser and they do have more of like a really dark brown base or black base for the Bordeaux one, and so they're going to be a little bit more finicky to apply. But if you do just press them on instead of swiping, you're going to get the most color payoff, and like, I personally quite enjoyed them. The reason why they're my least favorite is purely because of my personal color preferences and how I like to wear my makeup, not like based on formula or anything. But I'm really impressed. I really, really like these. I can honestly see myself getting a lot of use out of these. I'm happy. I'm happy. I really am. Everyone's value of $1 is different. So, you know, that's just my 2 little cents. That's my opinion and my takeaway from it. Like, you totally make up your own mind. But, you know, if you're wanting to know whether or not I really like them and love them, I really, really do. I think they're gorgeous, and I think the formulas are truly a next level. Now I want to hear from you guys. Did any of you guys pick any of the Quints up? Did you pick any of the holiday collection up? Are you eyeing them off? Let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think of the looks? Which was your fave? And yeah, if you're watching to this point, you know you're an absolute legend. I appreciate you so, so much, truly. Thank you. And I hope you have the most amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time. Bye.